welcome to Thanksgathering 2020. We hope that you have some great food at your table at home. We are excited to do something a little bit different this year. Let's go inside.
Welcome to West Main Turkey Trivia. Tonight's questions are divided into 5 categories, and each question is worth 7 1/2 points. At the end of each category, we will award a special Golden Turkey Award to someone who's a real turkey. And now, let's get to the questions. It's green, so our first category is pandemic problems. These are things that had to be recreated thanks to the gift that keeps on giving, COVID-19. Here's Mark Gorley with our first question.
When the pandemic hit, we quickly began live streaming the services on Facebook Live. What is the date of our first live stream service? Bonus points if you can name the camera operator that day. The answer is March 15th, 2020. Jennifer Clatterbug filmed the service. John Stevens took over cameraman duties the following week when the sanctuary officially closed to worshipers.
The pandemic really bummed out our summer, and one of the saddest losses was VBS, but our children's volunteers were not to be stopped. What was the long, complicated name of our at-home VBS this year? The abominable pandemic, that's not right. What was it?
West Main and the unexpected.
West Main and the unexpected.
Unusual.
No good.
Very bummer summer.
There you go.
Our awesome West Main youth filmed one of our bummer summer Bible stories during their car wash back in June. How much money did our youth raise during that car wash, and who did they raise it for? Thanks to everyone who came out to the car wash, our youth raised $500 for Habitat for Humanity.
Okay, friends, this is the first Golden Turkey Award to be given out today, and it is going to our live stream equipment donors and our faithful live stream team, especially Skylar, Lenny, Kincaid, and John. Way to go!
It's green! That means questions about the office. And no, we're not asking about Jim and Dwight. We're asking questions about West Main staff. Pastor Drew Herring has our first question.
West Main has the awesome habit of holding on to staff members for many, many years. Which current West Main staffer has been here the longest? The answer is Billy Joe Reynolds celebrated 25 years in August, and we could not do church at West Main without her, so we are so thankful for you, Billy Joe. If you missed it, she is still accepting cards and flowers, and she would love a hug, but not in this pandemic. Venmo, gift cards, you name it. She deserves all of it.
He may not have been here the longest, but I think Drew would definitely get the weirdest first year at West Main.
Yep.
Including Drew, how many pastors has West Main had in her 79-year history? There is 7. A.G. Carter, Howard Lee, J. Thomas Meggs, Robert Hale Cooper, Kirk Lashley, Bruce Wilson, and lucky number 7, Drew.
The sanctuary pulpit was dedicated to former pastor Howard Lee and his wife, and it was moved from the center of the platform over to the side when Bruce Wilson became pastor of West Main. What alterations had to be made to the pulpit when Drew became pastor, and why? Are you ready for the answer? Well, I guess that answers the why, but what was done to the pulpit? Tracy Clatterbuck raised the lectern up a little bit higher, and Bobby Sanford found us a mic extender so that we could get the mic closer to Drew's mouth and to my forehead.
Okay, that's the end of round 2. And the Golden Turkey Award for the biggest turkey on the West Main staff goes to Ann Baya. As you know, she's retiring at the end of December, so we will miss her dancing and answering the phone and just delighting us with her presence at church.
We love you, Ann.
Oh, I love you too.
And now for our next category. It's green. Shoot, shoot. I know that one. These questions are all things you should know about West Main, but you probably don't. And now let's head to the We Center where Sherry Price is on the job and waiting for our first question. Sherry?
Hi friends, the COVID-19 pandemic really shook up the We Center this year, but we got it all together and we have several new assistants. Can you name the assistants and the teachers of the We Center? But first I want to say we missed you, Miss Sue, we missed you, Carmen and Miss Carrie. The answer is, in the 2-year-old class, it's Miss Sally and Miss Caroline. In the 3-year-old class, it's Miss Lynn and Miss Taylor. And in the 4-year-old class, it's Mrs. Johnson and Miss Burnett.
In just a few short weeks, the poinsettia tree will be right here in this very place. It is comprised of 115 poinsettias. Who was the creator of this beautiful tree? And the answer is Gary Ferguson, our former minister of music, or as we like to call him, Mr. Gary. So, if you have not already, please turn in your poinsettia orders so that we can keep this tradition alive.
Among the most beautiful parts of our sanctuary are the stained glass windows which depict different biblical stories and different Christian symbols. Which Christian symbol hangs in our baptistry and who made it? The Christian symbol, of course, is the cross, which was made by Ken Calvert, who was one of our beloved saints whom we lost this year. Ken built so many things that we love, but also built sacred space and community in this place. So we miss you, Ken, and we thank you for your faithfulness.
The Moeller pipe organ is a staple in worship each week. Some of the pipes are visible in the pipe chests on either side of the baptistry. Where are the other pipes located?
End of round 3, and speaking of the organ and all of the beautiful music in our worship each week, this Golden Turkey Award goes to the over 20 musicians who have shared their gifts with us and helped make our online pandemic worship so special. Honorable mention goes to the Zimbalstern.
Man, I love that Zimbalstern. Now for the next category. Oh, it's green. That church. Weird and wonderful facts about West Main.
One of the most asked questions in the church is, where is the men's bathroom? The answer is behind the steps. You have a nice coat rack, a nice defibrillator, and a nice pew to welcome you to the restroom.
West Main children and youth have heard the legend of the ghost that lives upstairs in the boiler room. Can you name that ghost? Answer is Bob.
For months, the sanctuary congregation consisted of our faithful live streaming crew and these two heads on a stick, which were featured in 56 Behind the Scenes. The answer is Graydon and Malcolm. Well done. It was good to see you when I was preaching every week.
And the golden turkey goes to Graydon and Malcolm for having perfect attendance during pandemic worship. I'm sure their mothers are proud.
Yes, Mark, I'm sure they are. Now it's the moment you've been dreading. It's time for our final turkey trivia category. Green! The category is, you must have been a beautiful baby. New things that happened during 2020. Take it away, Billy Joe.
This is the time of the year when we usually have Thanksgathering, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. How many new members do we have since the last Thanksgathering service? The answer is 13. So this year, you 13 new members will receive a voucher to be used at a future date for Thanksgathering. What this means is you get to go to the front of the line and miss your table being called last.
A real highlight for us in 2020 was the installation of our beautiful new playground.
What? West Main Kid, who's a really tall youth now, helped us on this renovation as his Eagle Scout project.
There are a lot of things that we couldn't do in 2020, but that didn't keep us from starting some new things that are sure to become favorite West Main tradition in the years to come. Can you name 3 new West Main events that occurred in 2020? The answer is Blessing of the Animals, Wednesday night Vespers on the Lawn, drive-through hot dog supper, drive-through trunk or treat, and Music Mondays with Mark.
And the golden turkey goes to Caskey Kirk for being the first new member to join in an online service during a global pandemic and give birth to JP. And we know that Caskey loves winning these silly Thanksgathering games. We actually gave the last golden turkey to Anne, and so here is the box.
Thank you for joining us for West Main Turkey Trivia. And to all you turkeys out there, happy Thanksgiving. And now for our special lightning round question. Who has the messiest office?
Miss Jennifer Cloud.
No way!
There is a love higher than any other love. And there is a hug wider than any other hug. It's a hug that embraces everything and everyone. It's a love that erases everything wrong that we've ever done. It's a hug. It's a love. The lovely hug comes from God. There is a happiness deeper than any happiness. tender kiss, sweeter than any tender kiss. It's a tender kiss that makes the sorrow and pain go away. It's a happiness that takes the night and turns it right into bright summer days. It's a tender kiss, happiness. That happy kiss comes from God. And there is a love higher than any other love. And there is a hug wider than any other hug. It's a hug that embraces everything and everyone. It's a love that erases everything wrong that we've ever done. It's a hug, it's a love. That lovely
Love you, Billy
hug
Joe.
comes from God. There is a love. There is a love. There is a love higher than any other
So who says the blessing at your table? Here we like to ask Judah because whether he does Johnny Appleseed or sings God our Father, he always ends by going, Amen. Now you may eat. That last part of the blessing might have saved my grandma some grief at her house growing up, because when we were there, my granddaddy was always the one asked to say the blessing, but it was usually her stopping him from finishing his dinner and saying, Charles, it's time to say the blessing. Stop eating. I think he turned his hearing aids off pretty often. But he would always say this, for these and all thy gifts of love we give thanks and praise. And he would be back to his dinner. For a long, long time, like maybe 20 years, I had no idea what he was saying. But the words are this: for these and all thy gifts of love, we give thee thanks and praise. It's a simple prayer, but it's so, so profound. For these gifts of love that are obvious to us as we sit at the table, like good food, loved ones, friends, family members, we give thee thanks and praise, but also for all of thy gifts of love. All of those everyday miracles, some that we notice, some that we take for granted, and some that we don't even know to mention. We give God thanks and praise. Wherever you are this Thanksgiving and whoever you're with, I know a lot of our plans have changed this year. I hope that you or your family will take a moment at the table to give thanks and praise to the God who is the giver of all of these gifts of love. I give thanks for you. Happy Thanksgiving! Thanks for coming. Who wanted trivia at your house?